As right on cue, Dan, Nirvan Ramesh will come on to bowl his first over of the day. Plenty to like about the 17-year-old. Has a very distinguishable action. That's the first thing you'll notice about his bowling. But against Glamorgan, he's just relentless in terms of his line, in terms of his length. Possesses some decent variations, mixes up the speed and trajectory as well. I mean, he's someone who I know for a fact Darren Lehman rates very, very highly. And he has been a bit of a superstar in second 11 cricket. Took 30 wickets over the course of the campaign in 2025. Then made an instant mark in the One-Day Cup. Getting that wicket on debut against Durham in that victory at the Riverside. Here he is then. Just making some final adjustments to the field. Brought in at slip. Man under the lid at short leg. Got plenty of protection on the onside as well. Holland goes for the reverse, and that's a good tumbling stop there by James Sales. Diving there at backward point. So just to confirm the field, it is a 5-4 in favour of the leg side. You can see there straight away the intent from Holland just to disrupt the rhythm of the young gun. That one is a full toss, tries to whack it through extra cover. Will be cut off on the dive there. Rob Keogh, and doing the fielding. Of course, he's also had some really good news, hasn't he, with the recent contract extension. Just feels right to see Rob Keogh donning the Tudor Rose of Northamptonshire.
Yeah, and becoming a father as well. So a good month or so for Rob Keogh. Up at number 3 this week in the batting lineup as well, which is nice to see. Bit of responsibility for Rob with bat in hand. No massive turn on show as yet from Nirvan Ramesh.
Patel looking there to sweep the 17-year-old. Down towards George Scrimshaw it is. Deep backward square leg. Oh, that one. An expansive shot from Ian Holland. Doesn't get the desired connection, and that will be a dot ball to finish. So Leicestershire 86 for 1 after 18 overs here at the county ground Northampton. Just to back up the point about Nirvan Ramesh, I think there is an awful lot to like. But at the same time, we've got to remember he's 17 years of age. Spinners take a long time to fully mature. I think it says an awful lot, actually, about his performances so far. The fact that we saw Glamorgan playing with a lot of respect in the previous home game here in the Championship. And so far, that same respect is being paid to him by Rishi Patel, who goes now for the sweep shot. Ball just trickle down towards deep backward square for 1 run. I also like the fact that he's been so aggressive with his field placement as well. Like straight away, he wants the short leg in place. Get men in the peripheral vision of the 2 Leicestershire batters. Holland goes for the reverse again and stopped by James Sales. Holland plays that one defensively once more. I mean, for those who haven't seen Nirvan and don't really know his story, he was previously on the Surrey Academy, played for the Brown Caps from under 11 to under 17 level. Holland drives once more for no run. Plays his club cricket down at Bronsbury. Also played for Teddington and Primrose Hill over the past few years, and he's been coached by a name who I imagine will be quite familiar to those who watched county cricket in the 2000s. Holland goes for the lap sweep there. And that will be a dot ball to round out over number 20. Leicestershire 92 for 1 at this stage on the first day's play for the twos. As you do, as commentators, you look through a lot of footage. And the majority of his dismissals have either been LBW or bowled, and it is exactly because of that. It's an action which you don't realise just how much pace he's putting on the ball, and it just skids on. It can cause all sorts of problems.
Yeah, you see there, can't you? He's almost like runs. He runs through the crease. There's no kind of gather. The run up, or the however you want to call it, gathers pace as you go through, but there's no big skip. There's no, and I would imagine that probably quite difficult to get your timing right as a batter. As Rishi Patel advances, doshes him down the ground. One bounce four towards the Curo Wealth Lounge here at the county ground. Rishi Patel has seen enough of Nirvan Ramesh to back himself, back his footwork, get himself into a position, didn't overhit it. Ramesh gets the ball back and he's at the end of his mark and he's ready to go again. It's a quick over as well, isn't it? He doesn't hang around. That one wider, shorter in response to that previous shot. Rishi Patel just dead bats it into the offside.
It's a very good player of spin, is Rishi Patel. As you could see there with the footwork, absolutely bang on the money. Putting a little bit of pressure more on Ramesh's shoulders, and there he goes again, trying to just get into the psyche of the 17-year-old. Yeah, I interviewed Rishi a couple of years back now, and what he does over the winter, or what he has done in the past, he's gone over to India, basically to just do spin clinics, work on his footwork, work on his timing, work on his approach and his angles against spin.
Oh, top edge. It's going to fall safe. It's gone straight over Lewis McManus, really. It's going to allow Rishi Patel to come back for a second. A full shot, a bit of extra bounce from Nirvan Ramesh. Got Patel into a bit of trouble, but lands well safe of Ben Whitehouse, who finds himself at 45, or on the 45 at the moment. Fortune for Patel. Takes his score up to 39. The Leicestershire total up to 99. So we get a dot ball to finish the over. I think that's fantastic. You know, I know the world is a smaller place than what it ever once was, and we get so much more access to athletes now than what we ever used to get. So we do see more behind the scenes, which I'm a massive, massive fan of. And you must have been scrabbling around live streams trying to find some cricket to watch at that point. Your normal 9-game multi-box that you have set up in your living room with your different TVs was just reduced to probably 1 or 2 for a couple of hours here and there. Saved on the electricity bill, though, Aaron, I would imagine. Ramesh continues from the David Capel end.
Well, it's funny you say that. I went to day 4 of the Warwickshire-Essex game, and it had rained all day the day before, so day 3 was washed out. Rained a little bit on day 4, and the game was called by 12 o'clock. So after that, it was a scramble. It was to basically see, well, hang on, what other cricket is on? Of course, we saw the culmination of that terrific encounter down in South London, though. Nottinghamshire taking a big step forward to that first county championship crown since 2010. They know it's in their hands this week.
Hill That's another one. Just gets the inside half of the bat on that. Works it behind Harish Buchaki. Short leg. Gets taken out of that position now that Rishi Patel is on strike. Probably in response to Patel's willingness to advance and walk at Ramesh. They've just gone slightly more defensive. He just goes in there at a catching mid-wicket in those wicket ends. Nicely played, nicely fielded off his own bowling on the follow-through. Yeah, I've been impressed. An impressive start from Nirvan Ramesh. My first opportunity to watch him live. It's been enjoyable, I think. Northamptonshire here have got someone that they can get pretty excited about with regards to the future. That's aerial again, into the leg side. Didn't get all of it. Races up to that deep mid-wicket boundary for another 4 for Rishi Patel. He moves into the 40s, 43 now off 69 deliveries for the Leicestershire opener. 7 4s in the innings. Oh, there's that sunshine, Aaron, that we were promised.
That's more like it, isn't it?
Aaron Lehman's got the shorts on. He knew it was happening, didn't he? Swept this time, powerful. Down towards George Scrimshaw at deep square leg for a single. Rishi Patel looks like he's settling in against Nirvan Ramesh now after a bit of a nervy start. Keeps the strike as well. Keeps the score up to 106 for 2. Yeah, Northamptonshire got 2 new batters in the crease. 16 minutes to go on the clock. Can they take another one with them? Can they walk away with 4 Leicestershire wickets before lunch? Lewis Hill's faced the 7 deliveries. Eskenazi has faced 4. You can see the field as well now, can't you, as well? There's a bit more of a squeeze on from McManus. He's brought fielders back in around the batters. That's into the shin pads of Buchaki. Don't think we'll class that as a drop catch.
Absolutely not.
Chance though, it was on the full. Hit Buchaki rather than really getting his hands to it. Oh, that's gone as well. It is a bottom edge. What a take that is from Lewis McManus. An attempted sweep from Lewis Hill. It's fired through off the surface from Nirvan Ramesh. A really, really smart piece of keeping from Lewis McManus. The bottom edge into the gloves of the keeper. Now Northamptonshire have got 4 with 15 minutes to go in this morning session. Still with 2 new batters at the crease. This is turning around quite quickly. Are you still saying that you'd still look at this as Leicestershire's session?
I think now with that wicket, I would change my mind. I think this is now becoming Northamptonshire's. At one stage, let's not forget, Leicestershire was 70 without loss. Now 110 for 4. So it's been a pretty pronounced collapse here for the visiting side. And that has been mainly down to the bowling of George Scrimshaw. I think he's been an inspired change from the Lynn Wilson centre end. And Nirvan Ramesh as well, providing plenty of control, discipline and accuracy from the David Capel end. So, I think this has been a terrific show of character from Northamptonshire. And I'm always delighted to see young spinners in the wickets. So, well done as well to Nirvan Ramesh. Certainly having a memorable first couple of months with the Tudor Rose.
Absolutely. Again, I think Lewis Hill there just being beaten for a bit of pace, wasn't he? Just from Ramesh. I can't speak highly enough of that catch by Lewis McManus, though. The bottom edge off the sweep is not going to be an easy piece of work, but he made that look like a catch that he would take every day of the week with his eyes closed.
Here's a question for you. As a member of that wicket-keepers union.
The proud union.
Absolutely. Same with the spinners union, of course. So as a keeper, what would you say is more challenging? Catching an under edge like that?
Yeah.
Or standing up to the stumps against pace?
I'd say at this at this level, the bottom edge, the under edge. Because I think standing up to pace, particularly at professional cricket, you stand a decent chance of knowing that the bowler knows where they're going to put it. You stand up against some seamers in the lower levels, and well, you're kind of at the mercy of anything, aren't you, from some of your teammates in the club cricket circuits. It's a bit of a wide one. Again, though, beats the new batter, Johnny Tattersall. Therefore, Leicestershire at number 6.
Who himself is a member of said Wicketkeepers Union.
It's a good club. Growing as well. I think it's becoming more popular. That's a real change of pace from Nirvan Ramesh. Gave it some huge flight. Took all the pace off of it and made Tattersall wait. And did he? Waited perfectly. Timed it into the offside. Placed it for 2. Gets himself off the mark.
It's getting to the stage now in this morning session where if one final wicket does fall here for Leicestershire, Northamptonshire will certainly fancy their chances heading into that period after lunch.
Over pitch that time from Ramesh. Tattersall not able to navigate it through that offside field, which, as I said, it's just got a little bit tighter now that Ramesh has picked up wicket. 2 new batters at the crease as well. Slip and a short leg in place. That does get the outside edge, and it's wide of Justin Broad. I'll come back for a second. Tattersall very quick between the stumps. Wanted that second run, didn't he? Moves to 4.
I think for Johnny as well, I know it's the end of the season and Leicestershire have already been crowned as the champions, but you want to get off to a good start. You want to make that instant impression to your new club. And he'll be relishing this opportunity to get some runs on the board.
Back of a length. Well fielded, just about for James Sales. Good first stop, and then full length, flat out on the grass, just scrambling to try and find the ball, wasn't he, to keep Tattersall on strike as Rob Keogh just giving him a little bit of a wind up there from mid-off. Looked like a Hull City fan, didn't he, celebrating a win at the football, mauled by the Tigers. Change of angle for Ramesh. Coming around the wicket. Inside edge into the pad, maybe to bring Uchake into play. Under the lid there. Short leg. Looks like safe save might be getting loose. Just before lunch, maybe see a little bit of safe save before the interval. Scrimshaw, that would have been 3 overs for the big fast bowler. You'd think he'd have at least 1 more in the locker, wouldn't you? Before being taken out of the attack. 5 minutes to go. I suppose we could get this one, a Scrimshaw over, and then another one. So maybe he's safe to bowl the last one, but I don't think I'd take Nirvan Ramesh off. Quicker and flatter. Well played. Just wide of Uchake. Keeps the strike, gets a single. 121 for 4. Looks like we are going to get a changes.
A very warm welcome back to the County Ground Northampton, where we are almost ready to get underway in the afternoon session. Leicestershire resume on 122 for 4 in this, the 30th over. Nirvan Ramesh bowls at first to Johnny Tattersall. Defensive in his approach. Of course, for Northamptonshire, they'll be looking to build on that impressive stretch towards the end of that opening session. A stretch which saw 4 wickets fall in quick succession. James Sales cuts that one off. Big thank you as well to everybody tuning in via the Northamptonshire live stream. You're listening to the voice of Aaron Viles, and alongside me, as was the case for the morning session, it is, of course, the excellent Dan Jadzovic. And Dan, it was a good session, wasn't it? Good starts to this game.
Yeah, good afternoon, everybody. I hope you've enjoyed your lunch break. I'm sure there's been some good offerings for those that have taken a break away from the stream this afternoon on the lunch break. It's been good. It has been good. It's been good. It was even, wasn't it? I was slightly worried for that opening hour that it was going to be a pretty tough watch for Northamptonshire, but they wrestled themselves back into the game really nicely. George Scrimshaw led that wrestle. The three overs he bowled first up, went nearly 8 and over, came back, picked up 2 wickets in consecutive overs. And then I've really enjoyed this spell from Nirvan Ramesh as well, which continues into the afternoon session from the David Caper lens. It's a very, very exciting prospect. One that doesn't look easy to play against, and someone that I think will have a good future here at Northamptonshire. Don't really play with they don't really have a domestic frontline spinner, do they, so to speak, Northamptonshire. Rob Keogh does a lot of that heavy lifting, or has done a lot of it through his career, but he's a genuine all-round cricketer. He will have a role to play with both bat and ball. Yes, they've brought in Yuzvendra Chahal at points to play as that front line and that primary spinner, but I mean that is a spot that's available really for Northamptonshire, and if Nirvan Ramesh can impress and make it his own, then maybe that overseas spot gets used somewhere else next year, and Ramesh carries the weight of that forward for Northamptonshire. It's obviously very, very early in his career to start comparing him to Yuzvendra Chahal. That certainly wasn't the case, but it's a job that's available for Northamptonshire, and I mean, it's his to take really at the moment, or that's what it feels like based on what I've seen from him so far.
No, I think that's a very valid point, and Northamptonshire as a county, very much a proud lineage of producing domestic spin bowlers from the likes of Graham Swan and Monty Panesar, Graham White in the limited overs formats as well. Certainly a club and a county with plenty of spin pedigree.
It feels like this is the point of the game that could sway this game significantly either way. But then we saw that in the morning session. You thought that opening first hour went Leicestershire's way, and Northamptonshire came back in a big way, didn't they, to even that session out. So yeah, no hour is more or less crucial than the next one, but I know exactly what you mean. It feels like if either side can get a real stranglehold on this, it will put them in the ascendancy, that is for sure. Whether Leicestershire can bat this hour with the 2 of them, or can Northants break this and then potentially pick up another one.
Nice stop there in the field from George Bartlett. Still a 5-4 field on the onside here for Nirvan Ramesh, so no change of tactic or game plan. One almost brings in the debutant Avrish Buchake into the mix at short leg. That will be another single to add to the tally. Avrish is no stranger to being under the helmet. Of course, is someone who usually dons the gloves, but McManus as the senior and as the captain of this side, he's taken the gloves for this encounter. I must say I'm really looking forward to seeing his approach. This Northants side, been carded down to open the batting alongside Lewis McManus. He's someone who I view as quite a positive cricketer. Talking of positive cricket, Stevie Eskenazi takes 1, 2, 3 steps down the track and then just dispatches it all the way down the ground for 4. A lovely shot that from the former Middlesex man. And Leicestershire now 129 for 4. Good option to take, isn't it, against any finger spinner, providing that you reach the right pitch of the delivery.
Why did Nirvan Ramesh duck out of the way of that? Eskenazi hit it pretty well, and even if Ramesh had stayed kind of on his feet and potentially jumped, it would have been over him anyway. But to have kind of ducked for cover, I mean, we'll never know, but has he missed an opportunity there for a half an opportunity for a caught and bowl? I can understand why the umpire ducked out the way, but the bowler on the follow through there kind of sunk to his knees in evasive action. That was quite strange, actually.
I have to see a replay of it. And it was hit like a tracer bullet by Stevie Eskenazi. Metric. And you've also got the head-to-head record. So, yeah, unless Warwickshire romp home to an emphatic win, it should be Nottinghamshire who get their hands on the crown, as that one just beats the attempted shot from Tattersall outside the off stump.
Ollie Robinson's got 5. Worcestershire, they're struggling, 96 for 7 after 28 overs at New Road. Somerset doing pretty well. Another different opening pair for Somerset this week. Joshua Thomas and Archie Vaughan opened the batting. Vaughan dismissed, but they're 122 for 1 at Chelmsford against Essex after 32.4 overs. Durham, Yorkshire, that relegation scrap that you spoke about earlier. Durham have lost 3 wickets for 71 against Yorkshire. Middlesex, 145 for 2 against Gloucestershire. Glamorgan, the other team that's been promoted, 6 down against Lancashire for 129. Beautiful cricket shot by Tattersall. Lets the ball turn into the face of the bat. Middles it through point for 4. Raining at Nottingham. Warwickshire 70 for 1. And then Derbyshire 117 for 1 against Kent at Canterbury.
Well, I suppose it's all eyes on the south coast, isn't it? That one, full toss and dispatched away with disdain by Johnny Tattersall. Doesn't even give it a second look. That will be a thumping 4 to the deep point boundary. Moves the Foxes on to 138 for 4. One more delivery remains in this, the 34th over of proceedings. Of course, for Hampshire as well, that would be big. Every single point at this stage of the season matters. I mean, they really are staring down the barrel. But at the same time, if they were to beat Surrey in that game, well, they will survive. Tattersall on 22, Eskenazi on 23. And now for the first time with Nirvan Ramesh, we will see the chess pieces moving about here at Wantage Road. So Broad remains there in at slip, but Charkey no longer under the helmet at short leg. He's gone to backward point.
Yeah, with Eskenazi on strike. We saw it in the when Rishi Patel was there, didn't we, as well? The second that he used his feet, they took short leg out straight away.
That one is expertly placed by Stevie Eskenazi. Just runs it away on the late cut down towards the deep third boundary. And that is a silky smooth 4 off the bats of the Leicestershire newcomer. One of those shots where it felt like time almost just stood still and everyone could appreciate it. How does Ramesh respond? That's a pretty decent riposte there from the youngster. Eskenazi there, shuffles down the track, bringing mid on into play. That's a well-ran single. Moves the visitors on to 156 for 4. And that will be a dot ball to finish. Tattersall just guiding it along the carpet towards Bachake. So Leicestershire 156 for 4.
So Ramesh has one to his name. And he replaces safe save as he fires that loosener over the head of George Bartlett in preparation for the spell. Probably a good idea to get that one out of your system before you start bowling. Anyway, it's Eskenazi on strike. He has to start again. He's on 79. He's looked brilliant for his 79 as well. And gets a bit of a drag down from Ramesh to move to 80. It was an impressive 10 overs this morning, wasn't it, Aaron, from Nirvan Ramesh? Bowled really nicely. Good changes of pace, good control. Looked like he started to tire towards the end of the spell, but deserved the wicket that he got and certainly asked plenty of questions.
Well, he did, and it comes down to that variation. So with finger spin, it's not so much to the same extent as actual variations of deliveries compared to a leg spinner. For example, where you got the flippers, the sliders, leg breaks, top spinners, wrong-uns, etc. It's more about variation in terms of flight, drift, pace of the ball. I mean, yes, Nirvan has got a nice arm ball at his disposal where the ball just skids on off the wicket, along with your traditional off break, but I just think there's an awful lot to like about his bowling. And one other variation which we need to talk about, can't believe I didn't speak about it earlier, but where he's actually releasing the ball from. So you can see on that last one, he's gone very wide with regards to his release. Let's see if he changes up the angle with this next delivery. Instead continues to go wide and clipped away out towards mid-wicket for 1. But that is something that you see all the time with spin bowlers, just changing up the angle. Just gives the batter something additional to think about with regards to their setup, the approach, which option they want to take. It's good to see that it's not solely releasing the ball from one angle.
That one over pitched. Played out to the man, the sweeper, George Scrimshaw. The offside for Eskenazi. He keeps the strike. Yeah, it's subtle, isn't it? But there's just something about him that looks difficult to face. Almost looks like he's able to place the ball where he wants to, if that makes... I know that sounds quite a strange thing to say, but watching him and the way he releases the ball, it's almost kind of going, no, I'm actually kind of just placing it here, if that makes sense. He looks like he's got that much control. 68 overs done. 255 for 6. And Ramesh ready to go. Ball in hand already. Short leg in place. Fortunately for Arish Charkey, who was hit hard in the helmet in that afternoon session, the bat of Ben Cox, and on cue gets hit once more at short leg. He doesn't look a natural under the helmet at short leg, I think would be fair to say, but is healthy and good enough to carry on. There was concern for a while on a bit of a drag down. Call of 2 from Eskenazi, and it'll be a comfortable 2 as George Scrimshaw has to make a lot of ground on the boundary rope there to do that piece of fielding. Well bowled. Good line, good length there for Ramesh. Hasn't quite started this second spell with the efficiency that he did that first one. A little bit more inconsistent with his lines and with his lengths. Has now asked the short fielder there to move from the leg side to the offside. It's played off the back foot into the leg side. So Travaskis at 8, Logan Van Beek carded at 9, Chris Wright at 10, and then Josh Hull at 11 are the remaining batters for Leicestershire County Cricket Club. There's a dot ball to end the over. 257 for 6 after 69.
Bacharke still under the helmet at short leg as well. Eskenazi goes for the reverse. Ramesh goes off in appeal. Umpire not having that particular shout. I don't mind that though from Eskenazi because there is so much open space, providing that he places it nicely. Only got the fielder out at deep point. Aside from Justin Broadin at slip, it's green grass out there. A little bit like that. Plays a delectable late cut. And the deep point fielder races across to limit it to just 2 runs scored. So Eskenazi retains the strike. Moves on to 85. Very next delivery, just strides into that one. Nice confident step outside the off stump. Ramesh looks to skid that latest one towards that area between middle and off. It's a nice little battle emerging between these two. Nirvan would love to get the key wicket.
It's hard to tell, isn't it, from the position that we're in, what exactly Nirvan Ramesh is doing with that ball to make it so tricky for the batters, because none of them have really been able to line him up once he's settled into a spell. I'd love to get a closer look with regards to the variety, the variations that he's got. There's obviously a change of pace. Now, that's quite an easy one and an obvious one to spot. You mentioned the change of angle, which again is a bit more of an obvious and an easier one to spot. But where it almost looks like he pushes it out the front of the hand, doesn't it? And it's, as I say, not the easiest to spot when you're 100 yards away and elevated. But how much of a variation can he get by not moving the wrist all that far? Because the release point looks similar, doesn't it? But yeah, I'd like a closer look.
Yep, same. I think that's completely valid. Maybe the action as well.
Yeah.
Because when you actually look at the point of release, he's almost making an X shape with his arms as Travaskis just about digs that one from Keogh out of the danger zone.
And it kind of releases from above his head as well, doesn't it? It's not a round arm at all. It's a very, very tall and straight arm. If I knew how to use it in a sentence that didn't involve the name Ben Stokes, I'd use the word perpendicular. But it's unusual. It's unusual. No, it's unique. It's a unique action for Nirvan Ramesh. And I suspect if you've not faced him before, which clearly a lot of these professional cricketers wouldn't have done, it will take a little while to line up.
Travaskis this time a little bit more expansive with that drive out towards deep cover point. Moves the score on to 270 for 6. Has been outstanding so far, this from Eskenazi. And it goes back to that previous point of conversation we had. You look at the defence that he's playing against the likes of Ramesh and Keogh, and it is granite-like. He's not looking hesitant with regards to that particular shot. He's playing the ball on its merits. If anything is loose and wide, it's being dispatched for 4 or 6. It's just been a real pleasure to witness this from the 31-year-old. And there is that assertiveness again. Nice big confident stride to meet the pitch of the cricket ball. Also sends out a little bit of a message to the spinners as well. There's one thing that finger spinners and leg spinners absolutely love. It's witnessing someone having those concrete shoes and just sticking deep in the crease, not utilising their footwork. As you look there again with Eskenazi, plays that one very adeptly indeed, and that will be a dot ball to round out the over. So Leicestershire are 270 for 6 after 73 overs here at Wantage Road.
Racing along. James Coles, what a season he's having. The Sussex all-rounder.
Here is Ramesh to Eskenazi. It's funny, we spoke about the national counties earlier. James Coles came up through Oxfordshire. I know they've got quite the connection, haven't they, with Sussex. A number of their players have played for the Martlets over the years. The likes of Harrison Ward and Zach Leon Cachet as well.
It's a nice partnership, isn't it, between the two of them? One that's been really well developed and publicised, and I think benefited both.
100%. The same can be said about Northamptonshire and Bedfordshire.
Yeah.
With Emilio Gay and Rob Keogh.
Buckinghamshire as well.
Well, there is Eskenazi on the reverse, and this time he has found the gap. That'll be 4 runs down towards the Briggs and Forrester family stand. Excellent execution from the 31-year-old. As he continues on his merry way. Leicestershire 367 for 7. And Eskenazi has 136 of those. We are seeing one of those Buckinghamshire players, aren't we, in Safe Sabe? Adi Sharma as well. Someone who's played for the national counties side. Really nice to see that liaising between the different structures in that wider cricketing ecosystem. And I know for the national counties, it's an immense point of pride as well when one of their players does get picked up, whether that's for the One Day Cup or the Blast or the Championship. Just goes to show the value of having all of those different niches of the pyramid. Eskenazi rotates the strike there, moves on to 137. Seen plenty as well over the course of this summer. Joe Pocklington, he's now got a professional deal with Nottinghamshire. Rory Hayden's the big one for me, from Staffordshire. Remember watching him play a little bit of twos cricket for Warwickshire. Didn't quite earn an opportunity with the Bears, and now got a 3-year deal with Derbyshire as Bartlett. Little bit of a misfield there. Allows for Van Beek to come home for the single. That'll bring about the conclusion of the 92nd. So Leicestershire 369 for 7. Yeah, it's just one of those things. He'll just have to put it into the back of his mind now. Hope that either he or one of his teammates can end the stay of Eskenazi at the crease. But right there is just intelligent cricket from the former Middlesex middle order bat. Funny there, Bachake straight away was sprinting towards the helmet. He was keen to get in at short leg. Instead pushed back to 45.
Yeah, I'm not sure at 380 for 7 with 22 minutes left on the clock whether short leg is the place to be. Be thinking slightly more defensive fields, wouldn't you, I think, for Northamptonshire for the remainder of the day. Because it's not inconceivable to think that they could concede 400 runs in a day's play by the time we get round to 5:30, particularly with the way that Eskenazi and Logan Van Beek can strike a cricket ball.
Single there for Van Beek. Moves him on to 21. So Eskenazi back on strike here for the Foxes. That one fired in down the leg side. One pitched very full by Ramesh. Guided away by Eskenazi. End of the over. Leicestershire 381 for 7. A little bit of gardening being done as well in the middle between Van Beek and Eskenazi. Getting to this point of the day where you're probably just saying between each other as a pair not to do anything too rash. Don't need to gift away your wicket. 15 minutes of the day's play remain.
I think they'll just continue playing the way they've been playing, Aaron, to be honest. 55 off 63 runs is the partnership between the two of them. Van Beek is 22 off 24.
Well, there is that intent being shown there by Van Beek. A great stop out in the covers by James Sales. Prevents the boundary from being scored. And that's what I like to see, even if it hasn't been your day in terms of the wickets column. And in this case as well, with Leicestershire on 385, the runs column to boot. Still got to show that energy, that character in the field. Eskenazi just drops that towards backward point for no run. It's the one thing that you can constantly control in a game of cricket is your attitude, your body language, your desire, your hunger to do the best for your side. Another nice stop this time from Arish Bachake. Prevents any runs from being scored. Eskenazi remains on 146. In a knock which has seen him scored 18 fours and 2 sixes. Really has been the chief aggressor for the visiting side. He's played that beautifully late. Hasn't quite got the timing to take it all the way for 4 runs, but will be an easy 2.
Number 9, that's for sure. Other counties would certainly be batting at least 1 further up the pecking order, wouldn't he? Very, very accomplished cricketer. Good record at first-class cricket as well. Feels like he's played championship cricket for a while now as well. He's been around. He's been a few different counties. Calling Leicestershire home at the moment.
And this will be the moment for Stevie Eskenazi. 150 runs for the Leicestershire number 5. Gives a nice signal there to his teammates, who to a man are out on the dressing room balcony. It's a knock which has included 18 fours and 2 sixes. We spoke about him being the glue guy, and he has single-handedly held this innings together. Has had apt support from the likes of Johnny Tattersall. He scored 47. Ben Cox scored 20. Liam Travaskis with 37. And Van Beek, the latest of his partners, on 26. Stevie Eskenazi really has been on another planet today. Very, very well batted indeed. He continues to go about his business. Looks as cold as ice, doesn't he? Down at the non-striker's end. As Van Beek looks to punch that one off the back foot. Next one from Ramesh, slightly over pitched, allows for Van Beek to dig it out towards mid-off.
We're going to have safe save to round the day out from the Lynn Wilson Centre end. 6 minutes to go. The Leicestershire batters have called for a fresh pair of gloves and a drink as well.